Hi, Gil from Testing Gil here, and today we're going to talk about another aspect of test design, time to done. This is part of a series about test design aspects. Whenever we talk about aspects, we talk about them separately, but we need to remember that we need to look at all of them as a group and decide about their advantages and cost. Everything is testable, right? We talked about feasibility in this video, and we said that feasibility is not an either-or thing. There are levels of feasibility, and each has its own cost. So, in our quest for the best option, we should evaluate different design options, calculate the cost of each one, compare them, and then select the best one according to its cost. But instead, we just pick the one that is easier to complete. That's the time to done aspect. It's the quickest way to finish work on a test and move on to the next one. And if you're thinking, well, this has nothing to do with design, you're wrong. We may be just looking at the clock or calendar, but what we're actually doing is making a design choice. Not the best design, probably, but we did make a choice. Time is our biggest motivator. We have so many tasks we need to complete, we're always looking for the quickest way to finish them. In the case of an automated test, what's the quickest option? Copy and paste. If we already have a scenario written for one path, we're just copying and modifying it a bit to fit the other path that we're looking for. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, maybe there is. You see, there's a principle in the world of software called don't repeat yourself. Let me repeat that. The reason for removing duplications in code and other places is maintainability. If I need to make change in one place, I need to make the change in all the other places. Otherwise, I will leave some places unchanged, which is usually a bad thing. Now, what did we do with this copy and paste test? Exactly that. Obviously, I'm not paying the price now, but that's the thing about maintenance. It's a future cost. And as we said, finding and changing duplicates is costly and maybe even risky. So yeah, copying and pasting tests is taking the easy route. But there are more ways to get to done quickly. In our bigger, better bookstore, we already have a test that checks that we can add a user to the system. Like this. Now we want to write another test that checks that the user can buy a book. Now we have three options. Here's the first one. We'll write a test that creates a user and use this user to buy a book. The second one is a shorter test. We assume that the first test left a viable user in the system and we use this user to buy the book. The third option is actually enhancing the first test. We're not writing a new test, but adding the steps of buying the book to the first test. Now it will do two things. Check that the user is there and that the buying actually succeeded. Which one would you choose? The clock is ticking. Okay, each one of these options come with its own bag of issues. The first one is the best one in terms of predictability. It doesn't rely on any formal state, it is isolated from everything, and we can run it alone or in a group in any order. But it takes more effort to write. The second one is shorter. That can break more easily. What happens if we don't run the first test before that? Or if the first test runs but breaks in the middle? Welcome to Fragile City! The last option is interesting because we're not really copying, we're just adding an operation to an existing test. But now our test does more. And if it does more things, it can break on more things. Well, we'll be very happy and confident when the test passes. If it breaks, we'll spend a lot more time debugging it. And we know what these kind of tests turned into at the end. So you see, our design choices do carry costs. It's not just we're saving time now and paying the costs later in the future. We're saving time now by delaying paying costs in the future. It's exactly like tech debt. Here's another example. Let's say that in a bigger, better bookstore, we have testing infrastructure that is a sight to behold. We've invested, we've refactored. It's very easy to add new tests to the system. And it's based on Selenium. That's not a problem by itself. It has its own quirks, like every other system. And we've learned about the issues, and we know how to go around them. We know how to sort out the important stuff from the regular logs. It really is the quickest time to done way to write tests. But it's based on Selenium. And we would love to play with Playwright. It's the coolest tool around. everybody says so. This is a bit of a problem. We don't know Playwright. And that means we're going to have to spend time learning Playwright, writing the tests, making mistakes. We need to write everything from scratch because we don't have any infrastructure for that, until we figure out what the infrastructure should look like. And then we need to write the infrastructure. It will take a while until it's going to be easy to add tests with Playwright the way it is easy and quick to add tests based on Selenium that we have today. It's the same time to done question, but this time it's in scale. On one hand, we can add more tests quickly on our existing system. But everyone tells us that Playwright is the future, so we need to get ready. Every Selenium-based test that we write today will have to be migrated later in the future to the Playwright system. If we choose to break off from the current system today, it will take a while until we write the tests and until it's going to be easy to add more tests to the system. That's a choice we're actually making every day with every test. It's getting things done now versus accomplishing things quicker in the future. There's no clear choice here. And it's not even the same answer every time for the same team. Things change. I just want you to consider alternatives with pros and cons, advantages and costs when you're evaluating the next test that you write, and not just picking the easiest way to complete it. And don't worry, when you're all happy with the new Playwright infrastructures, there's going to be a new toy that you can play with and want. These things don't really go away. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe and share this video, and watch other videos on this channel. And in the comments, tell me about when you decided to switch platform or tool. How did it work? What kind of trouble did you get into? Until next time, bye bye.